Let's look at some homework problems from 2.1, Section 1, page 138. So let's take a look at the first problem we're going to look at, which is number 10. And this says 5a times parentheses b minus 7 minus 2 times parentheses 3a plus 4. And what we notice is all of 5a is being multiplied to both the b and to the negative 7, and negative 2 is being multiplied to the 3a on the positive 4. So when we look at that, we'll go ahead and multiply it out. So it's 5a times b, and then there's a minus here, so the minus goes here, and 5a times 7. And this is a negative 2 times 3a, and then negative 2 times 4. So now what we need to do is just multiply that out. So we get 5ab minus 35a, negative 2 times 3 gives us a negative 6a, and negative 2 times 8 gives us, negative 2 times 4 gives us a negative 8. Now what we can do is combine like terms, and like terms are terms that have the same variable raised to the same power. So in this case, negative 35a and negative 6a are like terms, so I will combine those. So I'm left with 5ab minus 41a minus 8. So here's our next problem, which is number 20, and again this problem also will apply the distributive property. So I'm going to take 5x and multiply it to the 6, and 5x and multiply it to the negative y. This plus 5x stays the same. 4 will be multiplied to the y squared, and 4 will be multiplied to the negative 2xy. So I get 30x minus 5xy plus 5x plus 4y squared, and 4 times negative 2 gives me negative 8xy. Now I'm going to combine like terms. I have a 30x here and a 5x there, so that combines to be a 35x. I have a minus 5x here and y, and a minus 8xy there, so that combines to give me a minus 3xy. And I have plus 4y squared. Now if I want to write that in better order, going from smallest to largest, I can rewrite it as 4y squared minus 13xy plus 35x. Now we'll take a look at number 27, and in this problem, this is an evaluate problem when you substitute values in for the x, y, and z. So you started with 3x cubed minus 6xy minus 5xz plus 4z minus 1, and it said let x equal 2. So everywhere where there is an x, I'm going to substitute in a 2. And then it said let y equal a negative 4. So everywhere where there is a y, I'm going to rewrite that and put in a negative 4. And then it said let z equal 7, so everywhere where there was a z, I'm going to substitute in a 7. Now all we need to do is use our rules from PEMDAS to solve this. And so PEMDAS rules say parentheses are first. In this case, these parentheses actually mean multiplication. So after parentheses comes exponents. So I need to do the 2 cubed, so 2 cubed is 8. And then PEMDAS parentheses, exponents, multiplication and division. So multiplication and division go from left to right. So I'm going to do 3 times 8, I get 24. Here I did negative 6 times 2, and that gave me a negative 12. And I had my negative 4. Negative 5 times 2 gave me a negative 10, and I still had my times 7. And then 4 times 7 is 28, and I still have my minus 1. So I'm going to need to finish multiplying through here from left to right. So 3 times 8 is 24. And negative 12 times a negative 4 gives me a positive 48. And a negative 10 times 7 gives me a negative 70. And then I have plus 28 and minus 1. Now I add them all from left to right, and I get a grand total of 29. Now the last problem we'll look at from this section is problem 28. And here again, this is an evaluate problem where you substitute values in for the a, the b, and the c. So here they said let a equal negative 2, so I just rewrite the problem, and wherever there's an a, I put in a negative 2. Now you want to put parentheses around it because you want to make sure if you're raising it to a power that you're doing whatever it asks you to with that negative. So where there's an a, I put in negative 2. Here there was an a, so I put negative 2. There was a b here, and it said b would be 3, so I substituted 3 in for b. Here's an a, so I substituted a negative 2. Here was c, and they said substitute 5 in for c. Here's another c, so I substituted 5. So I just rewrite the problems and substitute in the a, b, and c values. Then I go and I use my PEMDAS rules. So I'm going to do exponents first here. So negative 2 cubed is negative 8, because negative 2 cubed means negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. And that's going to be negative times negative, which is positive, but then times one more negative makes it negative. So then I did negative 7 times negative 2. Negative times a negative gives me a positive, so that turned into a positive 14. And I have 3 times a negative 2, that gave me negative 6. And I have negative 10 times 5 gave me a negative 50, because negative times a positive is a negative. Now I can go through and do the multiplication again from left to right. 2 times negative 8 gives me negative 16. 14 times 3 gives me 42. Negative 6 times 5 gives me a negative 30. Here I have a negative 50, and here I have a positive 8. Now I'm going to follow my PEMDAS rules for adding, and I need to add from left to right. I'm going to add these all up, and I get a negative 76. So that concludes the section problems that I'm going to do from 2.1. One thing to notice, I don't think the book talks about it, and I think I have mentioned it in my other video, but one thing to notice is if I have something like negative 2 squared, that is really saying negative 2 times 2, and that will be equal to a negative 4. That is different from saying negative 2 squared, which is saying negative 2 times negative 2, and that is equal to a positive 4. And what happens is when I have the parentheses around the negative, that means the negative is getting squared also. If I don't have parentheses around it, that negative is not getting squared, just the 2 is getting squared. So please notice that.